there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another cool toy review. And today we are reviewing the new 2000 Robots in Disguise. Technically, Robots in Disguise 2001. Interesting that they labeled it 2000. Tow-Line from that, and he is that Mystery Machine color Autobot who has never been the Mystery Machine. And fingers crossed that one of these days, in one of these various Transformer crossover pieces that they do the Scooby-Doo crossover fans have been wanting them to do for a while, which is a Transformer who transforms into a Mystery Machine. I mean, we just got announced recently a Transformer that transforms into a van as a crossover piece, and it's not a Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine crossover, it's the Stranger Things pizza delivery van from Season 4. I mean, don't get me wrong, Stranger Things is a pretty iconic series at this point. It's pretty big in the current pop culture. But if you asked me, hey, what do you think would be more popular? Stranger Things or Scooby-Doo? I think we all know what the answer is going to be, right? And obviously, the Mystery Machine Transformer would have to be voiced by Frank Welker. I mean, it just would have to be. Anyway, all that aside, because that starts getting into the conversation of, well, the licensing and all that, Hasbro and Paramount would have to make some kind of deal likely with Warner Brothers in order to get the licensing to do a Scooby-Doo thing. We don't need to get into that discussion for this video. The point is, it's a crossover that fans want. It would be a really cool crossover. And while the Stranger Things Code Red figure is a cool crossover, which I will be reviewing on the main Bay 12 page, so like and subscribe to that channel as well for the bulk of my other Transformer reviews, I would have much rather had a Scooby-Doo one instead, because Scooby-Doo is way cooler than Stranger Things. Don't at me. You know it's true. You know it's true. Anyway, here is Tow-Line, and he looks pretty good. A bit of a step down from what he transforms into in Robots in Disguise 01, because in Robots in Disguise 01, he transforms into a tow truck, much like the one he has here, but it's a much larger tow truck. Now, the toy wasn't. The toy was pretty small, but the alt mode of his choice wasn't. The alt mode of his choice was one of those large, big rig tow trucks. So he could tow, 18-wheelers and stuff, not a little regular size tow truck, which this is a repaint of the Transformers Legacy Evolution scrap hook, and they changed the head sculpt, but other than that, those are the only things they changed. And the head sculpt's actually very, very accurate on this figure to the original character design, which is really cool. And all that said, the color scheme and stuff, they do the character justice, I think, but I think it's funny that they G1ized the RID Tow-Line character when technically it was already a G1 design. And what I mean by that is when Transformers RID was imported into the United States and adapted as a standalone series, when it was released in Japan, it was released under the name Car Robots as a continuation of their Generation 1 continuity. So it was already in universe with the original G1 cartoon, Headmasters, Super God Master Force, Victory, Beast Wars 2nd, Beast Wars Neo, Beast Machines, and Car Robots are all technically in the same universe. I know that's a lot, and it is. It's actually the largest on-screen continuity for an ongoing series, or rather an ongoing universe, but technically it was already a G1 design. So I think it's really funny that they called this a G1ized design when it was already G1ized before they G1ized it. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, that's enough talking about the history of the character. Here he is in the packaging. You've got some artwork of him there on front. You've got the Buzzworthy Bumblebee artwork on the side. You've got a shot of him in robot mode on that side. And on the back, you've got images of the figure as well as him being able to break apart because he is a repaint of the Junkion. So he has that armor up play feature that the other Junkions had. So you see him there on the Legacy Evolution Hotshot. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Toeline out of the packaging, and I really do like seeing his color scheme on this mold. I've always enjoyed his color scheme. Like I said, he's essentially got the Mystery Machine colors, and while that's an interesting color scheme for a tow truck, especially one where the premise is they're actually trying to blend in on Earth, in RID 2001, a lot of the Autobots were just, rather than be grouped together in one base or another, like many of the other series, they actually were robots in disguise. They actually were blending in. Optimus, who was a fire truck, was being utilized by a fire station. He would just be there when he wasn't doing Autobot stuff. RID was a very cool series where they actually explored the Autobots living amongst humans on Earth, doing the things that their alt modes did, which was a very cool thing. It's just odd that some of the color schemes of some of these characters really, really stuck out. But enough about that. He looks really cool in that new Junkion mold, like I was saying. And just like with Scraphook, he does come with his little wing pipe bits, so you can plug those on the side just like you can with Scraphook. You can have them, use them as weapons if you want. You can plug them on different spots. You can plug them on the back and really make them look like wings if you want. That's totally an option. You got that cool spiked spare wheel that he can use as a shield or some kind of saw weapon. You've got his hook here, which you can use as like a prosthetic hand or attached to the side of his arm right here. You've got the two little engine exposed bits from the hood of the vehicle mode that can act as these little blasters and just plug on right there on the shins. He is also fully articulated. Head is on a swivel joint. Fully articulated shoulders, in and out. Upper bicep, single jointed, no, double jointed elbows. Wrist joints, waist, hips, upper, a swivel joint at the knee as well as your regular knee joint. Forward and back and side to side ankle joints. And then, of course, he can disassemble just like Scraphook can. Speaking of, we've named him several times in this video, so here he is next to Scraphook. So you can see the two side by side, and like I said, the only thing they changed is the head. He's got that toe line head sculpt, and that's a very accurate head sculpt, the toe line, and the color scheme. Nothing else changed on this mold. But what's cool about this is if you've been collecting the Legacy Evolution Junkions, like they did with the fossilizers, there is a combiner mode for the Junkions where you can build Junkosaurus, I believe is what they have dubbed him. And if you want your team to be comprised of all Autobot Junkions, or mostly Autobot Junkions, because we still don't know what the other arm is going to be, which is a repaint of Crash Bar, you could sub Toeline out for axle grease if you want. That way, instead of having a team of Autobot Junkions making this combiner and one of them just be a Decepticon, you can have Toeline in place as the other leg, based off of the image that Marclonus posted in his promo images of Junkosaurus when he first showed it off, which was several months ago. Transformation is just like with Scraphook. What we're going to do is we're going to start by removing these extra bits from Toeline here, except for the two bits that are on the hood there. We're going to go ahead and peg these legs together right here in the center, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this front section and we're going to rock it and push it into place, and there we go. That peg was just a little tight. And then we're just going to, and then just get that in position, and that's pretty much the front of the truck mode all the way done. Next, we're going to rotate that waist, come over here to the backpack, split this section, take off the arms because it just makes it easier to transform, untab these shoulder sockets from the side, and then bring that section forward, bring the legs up fold that head section all the way in, collapse those doors down over the side of the legs, and then bring that chest section down, fold those shoulder sockets in, make sure that chest section is actually pegged in right here so it's all nice and secure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the arms. We're going to bend the elbow so that it bends inward. We're going to push this socket section towards the back, and then we're just going to tab that arm in like so. Do the same thing over here. So fold that over, rotate that in, rotate that fist, tab that arm in. Then you can take the two arms here, tab them together in the center, and then these little pegs are going to go back into those shoulder sockets. Like I said, it's just easier to do because of the way the arms fit together. It's easier to do if you just kind of unpeg the arms and then just ease it all in together like so. And now all we got to do is add the other bits. So just take the little wings, those go over here on the sides of what were the arms. Take that little piece, peg it onto the back of the forearm, and then take this, peg it on to the middle on the back, and there is toe line all the way done in his little Mad Max tow truck mode and bright colors. Definitely not a color scheme to blend in with in a post-apocalyptic setting at all. So hopefully, he doesn't find himself in that scenario. Otherwise, he's going to have to drastically change his color scheme, I think. And real quick for comparison, here is toe line next to Scrap Hook in their alt modes. So you can see the two side by side. And I honestly don't know which one I prefer between the two, because I like them both very much for very different reasons. I mean, overall, I love the mold in general. I just love the look of this tow truck design with, the big plow grill on the front. You got the huge exposed engines, the barred windows, the little patches and spikes and bits. It all looks really cool. But I also, as loud as it is, love the color scheme of toe line here. And while this isn't probably the best alt mode choice for him, it's still a very cool one. And like I said, he was already a G1ized design, so it's not like they're G1izing him actually at all. But hey, it's still really cool, I think. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review featuring the new Transformers Legacy Evolution Buzzworthy Bumblebee RID Universe 2001 tow line. This is a pretty good and pretty interesting repaint. I wasn't quite sure what to expect out of the potential repaints from the new Junkion set of figures, but this is definitely a pretty cool one and an interesting choice, I might add, as well. But overall, a really cool figure. Stay tuned for more Transformers reviews. Make sure you like and subscribe to our sister channel, Bay 12, like I mentioned earlier about the bulk of our Transformer reviews. So if you like my Transformer content, make sure you like and subscribe to that channel so you don't miss out on the main Transformer content I do. But also make sure you like and subscribe to this channel as well, because there's all kinds of awesome toy reviews, news, and more on Cool Toy Review. And check the website daily for all kinds of daily toy news, reviews, and other content. If you like Star Wars content, check out rebelscum.com, the world's oldest and largest Star Wars fan website not owned by Disney, and both Nick and I contribute a lot of awesome toy-related content on that website, and there's something new every single day on rebelscum.com. Check out collectorsoracle.com, our free archival website. It's mostly Star Wars figures right now, but we are in negotiations with other toy companies to start archiving other brands and toy lines in the future. So pretty soon you'll be able to manage all of your collection like a pro. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.